refugees.
Hold on a minute.
That's not true.
No,
Charlie, hold on a minute. I'm afraid you're saying things that are untrue. If you come here as a refugee under international law to claim asylum, that is not illegal.
This so-called millionaire plumber tries to explain why he left the UK, but the contradictions pile up fast. He sounds less like a serious businessman and more like someone doing a Rod Stewart tribute act. And trust me, his excuses don't hold up under even the slightest scrutiny. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Let's talk to somebody who has left. Charlie Mullins, OBE, is the founder and former chief executive of Pimlico Plumbers, who is one of the people who has left the UK in recent years. Charlie, good to have you with us tonight. Why did you go, sir?
Well, I'm in Dubai at the moment, so Dubai and Spain is where I spend my time now. Anywhere but the UK.
Why? Why did you leave?
Why? Just basically because of Labour. I haven't come here to avoid any taxes. I paid all my taxes up to date. I've just come here because I'm fed up with Labour, the way they're running the country, the way they're wasting their money.
But when did you leave, Charlie?
9 months ago when Labour came in.
So you didn't give them the chance to see you didn't wait and see what they were going to do. You left before they'd even done anything.
Well, with respect, you haven't got much of a brain in your head to work out what Labour were going to be like. They're socialists. They're not interested in people that want to do well. They're only interested in helping people that don't contribute into the pot. So you're right. I didn't give them the opportunity. Why would I bother and waste 9 months of my life?
What have they done in those 9 months that you think is so bad?
I don't know if you're messing about or not, but they've obviously...
Serious question.
Oh, you're serious? A serious
absolutely.
Question. Okay. Well, they've put up the national insurance. They've changed employment laws. They're starting talking about bringing in a higher inheritance tax. They are destroying businesses and they're actually driving people out of the country. And you say, I think there's something like 11,300 millionaires that have left. And they say only 2 billionaires. Well, I know 2 billionaires myself, so I don't think the figures are right.
It might be the same too.
Well, highly unlikely, isn't it? You know what I mean? Look, but there's loads of other people that are left that are not properly declaring it at the moment, but they will eventually. All of a sudden, business people, we don't need London no more. We can work from Dubai, we can work from Spain, we can work from Italy, we can work from wherever we want to work. We don't have to put up with the nonsense of the Labour Party no longer. But not only have they driven out 11,300 millionaires, all they've inherited is 50,000 illegal immigrants. So, is that a good trade-off? They've invited 50 or allowed 50,000 people in, that's in 9 months, which are not contributing to the pot, and they're driving out people that I think
they're not contributing to the pot because they're not allowed to work, Charlie. Many of them that are granted asylum go on to work and pay tax.
Hold on a minute. All you lot keep going about not allowed to work. They're illegal. What bit of illegal?
They're not. If they're granted asylum status, they are not illegal.
Stop talking rubbish.
Charlie,
they're illegal.
It's quite a basic element.
They come here with no passport.
They come here. They claim asylum. If they are granted asylum, as hold on. Let me just explain to the thing. If they are granted asylum, as 2/3 of them are, they are allowed to work. They contribute. They're not leaving. They're paying taxes here and working here.
Look, they come here without a passport. They dump their passport. Let's not. Why beat about the bush and talk rubbish all the time?
I'm just giving you facts.
Well, I'll give you the facts then. They're illegal.
Well, they're not, are they? Because under international law,
this country without a passport,
they're not illegal. No, that's just not true.
Enter North Korea and they give you the death penalty.
Under the Geneva Convention on Refugees, that's not true. No, Charlie, hold on a minute. I'm afraid you're saying things that are untrue. If you come here as a refugee under international law to claim asylum, that is not illegal.
Let's talk about something that I know about and maybe you don't know
about. All right, but you're the one that brought up asylum seekers when, with respect, it seems you don't know much about it.
You're creating an argument that you can't win.
I'm not the one that started talking about asylum seekers and claiming people are illegal when they aren't. But I'm happy to move on because it's gone down a very strange route.
Let's move on because you're talking about something we don't need to talk about. And if they're not illegal, why don't they come here with their passport?
Because they're fleeing famine and conflict and persecution. And quite a lot of them do have passports, actually.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, you're absolutely clueless. But anyhow, forget about that. Let's move on to the real subject.
What's the real subject, Charlie?
It's not just a problem of losing all the millionaires and billionaires. You got to remember these people, they pay the top 29% of tax in this country. Yeah. So you're not only losing what they're paying in, you're losing all the jobs that they create, all the investment that they create, all the training that they create. So you're not just losing millionaires, you're losing a lot more than that. And if we continue the way we are, the country will be a third world country in next to no time.
Why do you think they are leaving?
My God, I don't know if you're winding me up or what.
I'm asking you questions. I'd like you to answer them. I mean, I don't know what you want me to ask you. It seems an obvious question to ask you as to 11,000 millionaires have left. Why they've left seems a reasonable thing to ask.
All right, Tim, let me just tell you this. There's a reason why you got two ears and one mouth, yeah? So maybe listen to what I'm saying. They're leaving because the Labour Party do not know what they're doing. They're destroying the country. They will actually send us into a third world country, all because they're increasing taxes, they're changing employment law, and they're allowing people in that are not putting in the pot.
So they were happy to stay here during the leadership of Liz Truss, but they think Keir Starmer was a step too far.
Not at all. Not at all. You didn't ask me that question. Tories started the problem. Right. They should have got on top of it years ago. But unfortunately, we've let it run so long that the clever people now are moving out. Look, probably half of the UK would move out if they could afford to move out. Unfortunately, they can't. They have to suffer and pay for other people that are not producing anything. But driving out millionaires, billionaires, it's the wrong move for the economy. It's the wrong move for the UK.
What should Labour, if the government wants to stop this sort of exodus of the wealthy, what should they do? What should they do to keep them?
To keep them, okay, call a general election, let them get out, and let reform get in and change the circumstances completely, and start encouraging people that are contributing to the country.
That's interesting you say that, because one of the critique that's sort of levelled at Nigel Farage is that he's not the party of working people, he's the party of the super rich and the wealthy. And what you're saying is basically billionaires would quite like reform to be elected.
Well, put it like this, more billionaires and millionaires will come back if Nigel Farage is Prime Minister and reform are in. No one ain't coming back while you've got Starmer, Rayner and Reeves in charge. The three of them are just not capable of doing the job.
So you think Reform UK will be pretty good for the interest of this country's billionaires?
Well, certainly I know, the people I know that have left the country have all said they will not come back unless reform get in. So I would say yes.
I don't know if that's quite the endorsement, Charlie, you think it is, with respect, because Nigel Farage says we're the party of the working people. You're saying Nigel Farage and reform are the party of the super rich.
What I said to you is that more people will come back into the country if Labour call a general election, and obviously they'll lose, and we get someone better into government. Look, even though I was a Conservative supporter, I'd rather Conservatives in now than the mess that Labour are creating at the moment. I mean, I'll ask you a question, Tim.
It's Ben, Charlie.
Sorry?
It's Ben. My name's Ben.
Yeah. Oh, really? All right. Sorry.
Yeah, really.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
All right, Ben. So, Ben, I'll ask you a question. Why do you think people are leaving then?
I have absolutely no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, most
you're asking me questions and you're telling me that I've got it wrong.
I'm not telling you got it wrong. I'm just pointing out some facts about refugees because you said things that weren't true. That's different to... I'm not giving my opinion on this. I'm just giving you facts.
Refugees will overtake the UK the way it's going. Anyhow, we've driven out, we've forced out over 11,000 millionaires, loads of billionaires and all. Just two is nonsense.
Do you not think part of it's just they don't want to pay tax here?
Not at all. Not at all. They've been paying for years. It's like people say to me, "Oh, you've cleared off, Charlie, to save on tax." I wouldn't be living in Spain to save tax. You know, that's not where you go. I still have a company in the UK, We Fix London, which I'm a non-executive chairman, purely because I'm not prepared to put in the pot anymore. But of course, they're comply with the tax regulations that we have to comply with. But we've got to start facing facts, Ben. I think it's Ben, isn't it? Ben, if things don't change, we're in a mess anyhow, and we're going to be in even a worse mess. And there's only one way to change it, and that is to call a general election and get rid of the people that are in there that are just absolutely useless.
All right, Charlie, appreciate your time. Thank you. Charlie Mullins, OBE, founder and former chief executive of Pimlico Plumbers. Have you got thoughts on that, by the way? How do you feel about this? Should we be worried and concerned that so many wealthy people who, as Charlie said, pay a lot of tax generally, put a lot of money into our economy, employ people, start businesses, Should we be concerned that so many want to leave and indeed are leaving? Or is your take and your conclusion one that's coming in quite heavily on the old texts and messages? Good riddance.
So in the end, his argument collapses under its own weight. He claims the rich are fleeing because of labor, then admits they left before labor had even done anything. He insists they're all paying their fair share, yet somehow sets up shop in Dubai and Spain. It's contradiction after contradiction, and it exposes just how shallow these talking points really are. But let me throw it over to you. Why do you think the wealthy are leaving the UK right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.